So, good morning. It's a little bit past 8:30, so if we'd like to keep the schedule going and we have a lot of things to accomplish, I think we should get started. My name is Lida Anestidou, and I'm the director for the new roundtable for ILAR, the Roundtable on Science and Welfare for Laboratory Animal Use. And I'm delighted to see old friends, and new faces in the audience. Thank you very much for coming. I also wanted to welcome all of those who are dialing in or joining us via the webcast. We have lots of people who have signed up, and this is very, very exciting to see. Last year, 2013, was the 60th anniversary for ILAR, and in that year, the ILAR Council members decided to move forward with the idea of the roundtable, which, although not new at the national academies, it is a new thing for us, and it is a new thing for the laboratory animal community, at least in this country, in the United States. So the purpose of this roundtable is to foster communication and to help with problem solving, bringing together the constituencies that have an interest in the responsible care and use of laboratory animals. So it is a new medium for us, and we hope to see it sustained beyond this first year and this first activity. And in fact, we have a second activity planned for September 3rd and 4th on the topic of transportation of laboratory animals. So I hope that this crowd and even more people will join us then as well. The roundtable has 21 members at the moment, and it's an eclectic mix of academic institution representatives, private industry, government individuals, as well as professional societies. And we hope that it can grow to have more from all these mixes and additional voices so that we can have a really plurality among the members. The importance of the membership manifests itself in the topics that are chosen to be the activities that the roundtable fosters. And this one, which is the first one, was chosen by the members unanimously because of the importance in the quality of science, its impact on the numbers of animals that we use, and the influence on the quality of the publications and the responsibility that we all face as scientists vis-à-vis using laboratory animals in our work. So before I turn this over to the workshop co-chair, Dr. Niemi, I would like to thank the 10 individuals who were appointed by the academies to be the planning committee for this event. They worked very, very hard. They were very thoughtful, and they were very, very great soldiers in putting this together. It was a great feat, and I hope that at the end of tomorrow you will agree that what we ended up doing was up to your expectations. So thank you again for coming, and I wish that we are all going to have fun during the next 2 days.
Thank you, Lida. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here today, and those of you who have tuned in online to what we expect to be a very important and productive workshop. Two of the reasons for ILAR shifting gears in a sense and expanding its business model, if you will, to roundtable workshops, in addition to the larger scale and longer timeline projects for which it's been known for its previous 60 years, was because the biomedical research community and its constituents and its various followers also needed a more agile outcome or product, in addition to the hefty reports that are usually generated after 6 to 18 months of deliberation by a panel of experts. With that agility also comes a greater expectation for outcomes, things that can evolve from the conversations today and tomorrow that hopefully will point to shorter-term solutions or countermeasures, as some may say, so that we can right this ship or get it oriented in a more productive fashion, more efficiently and more quickly. So that is one of the deliverables that was pitched when Lida and I first started calling around for institutions and their representatives to join the roundtable. And we found a very receptive audience, both in academia and industry, as well as the government institutions that are represented on the roundtable. So I'd like to thank them for their trust and their investment. I also want to acknowledge our workshop sponsors. Their names are also posted on the board and in the program as well, because this is not an inexpensive endeavor, and we appreciate the financial resources provided. In terms of introducing today's and tomorrow's subject matter, I'm first reminded of a thought experiment I did a long time ago, inspired by reading Buckminster Fuller, who was famous for thought experiments. And if you envision everything we know contained in a sphere, and the more we know, the larger that sphere grows. The surface of that sphere actually represents the boundary between what we know on the inside and what we don't know on the outside. So if you remember your geometry, as a sphere expands, it actually comes in contact with a larger volume of space outside that sphere. If I translate that accurately, it means the more we know, the more we're bound to discover what we don't know. And I think that's certainly true in the life sciences. We're constantly surprised by outcomes or experiments or insights that were not evident in any manner previously. Most beneficially, science is driven by rigor. And so this may be another R that needs to be highlighted. Advance of science is based on being able to show that somebody's report or findings or discovery is truly repeatable. And that's done by repetition. And historically, that model, that philosophy, that discipline has served science very well. We're now in a new age where maybe, and that's a big maybe, that philosophy needs to be tweaked or revisited in order for reproducibility to retain its power, to convince doubters, to confirm those that are on the leading edge of something new. And this is not maybe a new subject within science, but it's become a new subject globally. The missing R is the title of this workshop, and if you can afford me some further alliteration, I want to talk S words in the context of this workshop today and tomorrow. Science is sophisticated, and science is subtle. And with those new components, where it's not so simple as it used to be, does this mean that we're more prone to reproducibility problems? Because it is harder and harder as we look deeper and deeper into the human organism and other living things to truly have maybe the same experiment, the identical experiment performed between one laboratory and another. So is reproducibility and its lack thereof an even greater reality than it used to be? That's something that our speakers are going to wrestle with over the next 2 days. Science is certainly social. And now with social media becoming more commonplace, disagreements and charges and countercharges quickly are disseminated around the globe, literally at the speed of light. And so has that accelerated maybe greater sensitivity to the problems with reproducibility? Science can also be sloppy. And science is a career for those who are engaged in it. Careers are made or lost on achievement. And so with ambition may come, if not an intent, a practice to get there first, be the first in print. And how does that affect the requirement that your results need to be confirmed by somebody else independently for it to be truly embraced as real and accurate? And finally, science is civilized, at least for the most part. And so the expectation is over the next 2 days we'll be civilized as well. We may find lots to disagree on, but we won't be disagreeable about that. And so just a reminder that this is a very august and professional atmosphere, and the expectations are in the same vein. A couple of program and housekeeping items for today and tomorrow's proceedings. We will stay on time, guaranteed. So if someone is a bit lengthy in their presentation, co-chairs have been advised to act as time police and proceed accordingly. Please silence your cell phones. I used to say pagers, but nobody wears a pager anymore. You may be expecting a very important call. The rest of us don't care. So that's your own personal business, and you can tend to that. In terms of the presentations, we will have individual speakers up at the podium one at a time, and then at the end of their presentations, enough time has been reserved so that they will jointly come up to the front of the room for Q&A. And I look forward to some robust conversation in that regard as well. So getting started, let's start talking about restoring faith in the research enterprise and a call to action. I'm going to avoid reading the biographies. Time is more important to hear what people actually have to say who have come here from very long distances. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Malcolm MacLeod from the University of Edinburgh.